Mitch, yeah, you can see China dominating there on the parallel bars. You see a lot to impress you there, Lewis?
Oh, it's fantastic. A clear display of how awesome they are on the P-bars, and it just goes to show that they're ahead of the field by a long way.
Some interesting moves for you to incorporate, or have you got yours up your sleeve as well? We heard about Lewis's secret moves yesterday. Have you got some new moves on P-bars?
Yeah, I've got a routine up my sleeve. It's not quite ready yet. I've still got a lot to practice, but
would it be up there with the best of those?
I'd like to think so, but there's still a long way to go. But they're the best. You have to aim for the best.
So secretive, these guys, aren't they? Beth's joined us. It'll become apparent why in a moment, because it's the women's floor final coming up, which is always one of the blue ribbon events at the World Championships. And as Beth is still world champion on the floor for the next 45 minutes or so, who better than Beth to guide us through this piece of apparatus?
Hi, I'm Beth Tweddle and this is my guide to the floor. Routines are performed on a 12-metre squared sprung floor. Cover the whole floor area using a variety Cover the whole floor area using a variety of tempos and direction. The music is usually chosen by your coach to suit your individual style. It's compulsory to include a mixture of dance sequences and acrobatic elements. To get a high score, a routine must have originality and technical perfection. You have a maximum of 4 tumbles as well as a series of spins and leaps. It's a good event to watch as a lot happens and it isn't as technical as other pieces of apparatus. Nailing the landings is vital for a high score.
And it is one of the events, isn't it, that people who don't watch loads of gymnastics, they just love seeing the women's floor. And we last year loved your performance on the floor in London. It was one of those moments, I think, that people who were all there kind of remember that moment. The crowd were just fantastic, weren't they, in the O2, and you put in the performance of your life. Relive a little bit of this for us, Beth.
I just remember getting to that last tumble and thinking, this is my last tumble before I could become world champion, and as soon as I'd landed I knew I'd done the best that I could.
Did you know it was enough at the time?
Not at the time, no. I had to wait. I was first up, so I had to wait for the whole final to go through.
You had enough difficulty?
My coach just kept saying to me, you've done the best you can, would you go up again and do it again? I said no, and she said, well, that's all you can ask them.
Absolutely. And then sadly, I mean, we've seen you in gold on the earnings advance, so I don't want to kind of dwell too much on it, but we could have you in this final today, but for an unfortunate fall in the qualifying.
Yeah, unfortunately I just didn't get the bounce right on my last tumble, and I just landed really low, and that was at least a 5-6 deduction. And then also they didn't give some of my leap connections, so my start value was right down.
Because I love Daniel Peters here, the other day I was saying to him, well, what happened to Beth, why is she not qualified? And he said, she's got way more difficulty than anybody, she should be there, her score should be in there, and arguably you'd be fighting for another gold, wouldn't you, with the difficulty you've got?
It's just one of those things that didn't quite happen on the day, and I was absolutely gutted as soon as I came off the floor, but I knew I had to focus, ready to help the team on bars, and it's going to be hard to watch it today, knowing that I've got the start value to be up there, but that's gymnastics. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't.
OK, well, let's have a little look at the start list from the 8 girls who did make it there. And Beth, I know you're a big Mustafina fan. She's had 2 silvers in the individual apparatus finals, fell off the beam earlier today. She's going to be the girl to catch, isn't she?
Yeah, she's had one of the highest scores in the whole competition. But to be honest, it's anyone's game. Sandra Espasha, she's just made a comeback, having torn her Achilles last year. She's Olympic champion. She'll want to show that she's back on top of the world, but it's basically anyone's game today. The start values are all similar.
You're not going to give us a name then, who you think's going to do it? What about Laura Mitchell? She's had a good competition, not got a medal yet.
Yeah, I'd love to see her up there. I mean, obviously last year she had 2 silvers. She was just pushed out the medals on beam, so she'll definitely be out there fighting for a medal on floor.
And Lewis, do you like watching the girls' floor?
Yeah, I mean, it is a lot more artistry involved in terms of the men. The men are a bit brute and powerful, where the girls, you can really see the magic happen. So.
OK, well, let's enjoy it in the company now of our commentary team, Mitch and Christy.
Graceful form of Alia Mustafina. She qualified in first place for this final. She's not at the happiest of outings in the individual athletics finals. This is her last chance for gold for Russia. Alia Mustafina.
A truly beautiful gymnast, performing beautifully. So clean in that triple spin, and control, just a little hop on that landing. Leaps, spins, dances superbly, and everything looks easy. But she's had an enormously heavy schedule, qualified for every final, but that was perfect. Managed this tumble to win the all-around, to win the team title. Can she for the floor final? The best is done.
Wonderful for her.
Alia.
Majestic, in control, good tumbling, beautiful choreography.
Yes, it really brings out her qualities, her real classical training. I think that's why she is going to be such a star. All her techniques are wonderful. You can see that she can build from strength to strength, but she's done every final. She's done team final. She's done individual all around, and she looks just a little tired today. That first tumble was fabulous, though, wasn't it?
Wonderful combination of choreography and superb tumbling. It's just the first sign of the tiredness.
But she did very well. She held herself inside the floor area. Just take a bit of a deduction for stepping sideways. I'm sure all the rest of the finalists will take the odd step on landing. She's powerful, stretches in the backflip, wraps in the triple twist. A really good landing at the end.
Interestingly, nobody got in the 15s to qualify. This shows you how tight it's going to be out there.
Well, the deductions on floor are very heavy. They have deductions for any type of step on landing, whether it's a jump, a leap. In fact, that beautiful double spin when she held the leg up, she dropped the leg slightly before the end of the double spin.
14.766, that's the target. Sandra Espasa looking very, very calm and collected.
Quite a mature performer now. Olympic champion on floor. Knows just how to sell a routine. Full twisting double back and how to land a tumble. Now Espasa has the highest start value, or did have in qualification. All right round that tour jeté return. Lovely smooth 1.5 walk out. Oh, but the triple twist right off land and line and completely out of the floor area. Her tumbles have been impressive. Two and a half interval twisting front to finish, but that will be very costly. Landing right out of the floor is a big deduction.
Well, not only for landing out, but will she lose the value of the skill?
No, I don't think so, but it'll probably be a 0.5 deduction for completely landing the skill out.
And she looked good. We suspected a surprise coming from her, but you can't make a mistake like that and live with someone like Mustafina. He knows, up there in the audience.
But she was very precise. She snapped her Achilles last year and obviously has worked very hard to get back. She used every centimetre of the floor on that first tumble, and she just wasn't quite so precise on this next one. See, 1.5 walkout, she was offline. She stepped out to the side, and then that meant that instead of having the whole diagonal, she was on the side and really right outside. She'll know that was a big deduction. And, I think she might have been out at the end there. Our first angle didn't show it properly, but it looked like she was on the final tumble as well.
.766 is the target. Isbasser got that in qualifying, but unlikely she'll get it again here today. Mustafina has set the target.
Isbasser has had a long wait for this final. These gymnasts qualified a week ago for this final. It's been a very long championships. It's a world championships that every nation who wants to can come and take part in. So there's been 2 days of qualifying for men and women, then 2 days of team finals. So it's 1 whole week ago that she qualified for this.
Judges debating how severe to be on those out-of-zone errors. Romanian camp a little bit subdued now. Nelly Kim, the great Nelly Kim, with other responsibilities to see justice done. Isbasser can only wait.
And of course the judges have the ability to look back with a video replay. It's called, the system they use is called the ERCOS system, and they can look back and decide whether the feet were in, out or whatever, but I don't think there'd be a lot of doubt on that one.
Striker up there, men's Supremo, over the shoulder of Nelly Kim. Mustafina.
Little chat to her teammate who's waiting to go. She knows how important it is to keep her relaxed. And I have to say, it's good to see Mustafina looking relaxed at last. She's looked a little bit like the weight of expectation was heavy on her shoulders, having won the first 2 gold medals. I think it was almost as if people were looking for records to be tumbling for her, looking to see how many gold medals she could win. And I think she's 16 and it weighed a little heavy. We didn't see her performing quite as well in the finals as we might have thought.
This really is a long, long wait. Panasayeva for Russia is standing by, but Isbasser. And the score for Sandra Isbasser, 13.983.
Heavily affected by the steps out. They've given a 0.8